Hello, hello. All right. Have one more minute, guys, and we'll get started. Thank you for coming, by the way. We appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come out here and spend some time with us. We look forward to hopefully informing you on what we have going on and answering any of the questions that you guys have for us. Okay. My name is JJ Martin. I'm the Director of Federal and Special Projects for Target Contractors. We're here today preparing for the explosive felling of 108 First Street, originally known as the Hilton Hotel. The building was constructed in 1970 and has been a staple of the Macon skyline for the over 50 years. Target is grateful to Macon-Bibb County for the opportunity to collaborate on this historic project and make way for new beginnings. We're actively coordinating with the neighboring properties to prepare for the event. The coordination is ongoing and will continue in the coming weeks. So, you know, this project is, it's just such a tremendous opportunity for a contractor to be able to come out, to get to know the community, and to spend time building those relationships, and also being able to show our expertise and what we do. We're very, very proud of what we do, and we're very grateful to you guys, the community, for allowing us to come out here and to do this and to work with us. Because without your partnership, we wouldn't be able to do this, right? Each and every one of you contribute. Everyone in the community contributes to the project's overall success. So the morning of the blast will be on January 1st at 9 o'clock in the morning. That morning, we're going to be instituting an exclusion zone. The exclusion zone will be from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. January 1st. Could we put up the exclusion zone map, please? All right, so as you can see, the Second Street Bridge will be closed. We're going to come down here to Third Street. We're going to leave Third Street open. We're going to come over to Mulberry. We're going to leave Mulberry open. We're going to come up to New, leave New open, and then we're going to take this quadrant here behind the Burger King for our incident command center. We're going to set up our control and all of our staging vehicles in this area. We're hoping and contingent upon what the weather brings is going to determine what we have going on that day, and it's also going to determine how we manipulate our protections um, and how we prepare for the weather that day. So what's going to happen likely this time of the year, you're looking at more likely than not either a northeast or northwesterly or a westerly wind. So when the building comes down, we're going to have a plume of dust. The building has been stripped of all drywall, walls, metal. It's bare bones concrete at this time. Excuse me. But we will have a silica dust cloud that's generated from the demolition. That dust cloud will move depending on the wind condition. It's going to either move, depending on the wind condition, obviously, right? But we're expecting it to move in either in this manner, or this manner. The reason that we have such a large exclusion zone is for safety reasons. We want to make sure that we are taking appropriate size, appropriate space to operate without, you know, anyone coming inside and subjecting themselves to injury or trying to make that TikTok video, right? That Facebook post and, look at me. We want to eliminate that. So by taking this, having this exclusion zone in place, it allows us to keep control of our work area, to put safety first, and to make sure that we have visibility, surveillance, and control of our work area, right? So we're very thankful to everyone cooperating. This is not an easy task. There's neighbors, there's businesses that we're impacting. We're very, third wave digital, awesome. You guys are great. We couldn't express, couldn't be happier with the coordination efforts that we've been receiving. The community's been great supporting us, and we're very grateful for that, because without that, again, we would not be able to accomplish this objective. So that morning, I can go over a timeline for you guys to give you a basic understanding of our operation that morning. I won't go through all the intricacies, but I'll try to call out what we have, what's going to be going on, so you have a fair understanding of the movements. So, at about at 6 o'clock in the morning, we'll be setting up sentries around the exclusion zone. We'll be taking the perimeter. Um, During that time, we'll have the sheriff's office and code enforcement supporting us in our operation. What we'll be doing is setting up the perimeter, conducting a internal sweep of the area, making sure that we've we're looking out for anyone that may be behind the lines there that we need to get out. It's going to take a little bit of it's going to take a little while for us to do so. So, excuse me, from about 6 to 7 o'clock, that's what we'll be focusing on. At 7 o'clock, we'll also be having our utility strike teams come in. They're going to come in and they're going to temporarily turn off the utilities, specifically the energized and the pressurized lines, which would be water, gas, water, and electric, just to Walnut from, I'm sorry, just from Riverside to Walnut on First, and then from the same thing, First and Walnut to Second Street. So that's what we're going to do there. Um, Ultimately, that morning, like I said, we're going to have the perimeter seized. No one's going to be able to enter. We'll have our utility guys go ahead and turn off the utilities. We'll have our perimeter swept. Everyone will be kept out of the perimeter. So at about 7:45, we'll have all areas declared clear and secure, and we're going to have visibility on the area from 7:45 all the way up to 9 o'clock, which is the moment of the shot. When the implosion occurs, we'll have a dust cloud. The dust cloud should dissipate within 5 or 10 minutes after the implosion. Again, direction of the dust cloud will travel will be contingent upon the weather conditions and the direction of the wind. At 9:10, we're going to have a post-blast inspection. That's when our blaster in charge, the gentlemen who are explosive subcontractor, they will go out and they will inspect the site, make sure that all their charges fired. They'll do a little safety inspection before we send in our utility guys. Once they confirm that everything's been cleared and secure, we're going to send in our utility strike teams. Our utility strike teams are going to go in. They're going to re-energize their lines. They're going to inspect them for damage. We're going to send in the gas first, pressurize it, confirm that it's good, send in the water second, pressurize it, confirm that it's good, and then we'll have our electricity turned back on after we've confirmed that those two have been squared away. At about 9:20 or so, 9:20, 9:25, we're going to go ahead and we're going to initiate our other strike teams to evaluate the damage. So for all the surrounding properties that we're installing protections on, this is Alex Snyder. He will be spearheading the team installing those protections. We'll be going out and kind of evaluating what we have. Typically during an operation like this, you're going to have two major hazards that you're concerned with. Air overpressure, right, is going to be one, and then frag will be the other one. The thing is, with the frag, the way that the implosion is designed and the building and the columns are wrapped, it minimizes and mitigates the potential for that frag to come off. We wrap our columns with chain link fence and geotextile fabric. It kind of acts as a catcher's mitt once that charge goes off, helps keep it where it needs to be. Doesn't mean that there won't be an occasional piece of frag or something that can slip out and get beyond those controls, but due to the exclusion zone and due to the various other controls that we do and the protections that we do install, it minimizes the potential for damage. Those protections consist of a rigid foam board covering that we use for the windows and an additional drape that we will suspend from the buildings, some of the buildings, to protect the front end of them. We've identified some of those buildings that are potentially more likely to receive damage than others. So those are the buildings that we're going to primarily focus on. At this time, we don't see any, we don't have any major concerns. Everything appears to be, going fantastically today. And for the last couple of weeks, everything's been, we've been making our milestones and achieving our objective day after day. Every day you get like new little things that you need to work on and do and perfect, and new relationships that you develop. You identify new areas that you need to strengthen or protect, And every day it's been a methodical, systematic approach by us to accomplish those objectives and to achieve our overall goal. So basically, at 9:30, we'll institute our protections evaluation, make sure that we document what we have, and then at 9:50 we'll be we'll be anticipating that the roads will be getting swept clean with the street sweepers. The debris will, whatever debris, if there is any around, will be getting cleaned up, and we'll be preparing for reopening at the discretion of the sheriff's office, making sure that the roads are clean, the dust is swept up, and that we're ready to go. We'll be reopening. We anticipate that to happen no later than 11 a.m. January 1st, the morning of. So that's basically the timeline that we're running down, and that's what we anticipate. Mr. Flores, sir, did you want to have Alex speak on? So, Alex, would you like to take the floor, sir? All right.
We kind of inverted the order of things. Just to one, thank everybody for coming and understanding why we wanted to have this event to make sure that those interested, particularly businesses and residents, knew what to expect on that morning, um, and and why we're doing what we're doing at all. The While the project is one that has captured the attention of a lot of folks because it is one of the buildings on our skyline, it is something that we imagine will be something even greater for our community going forward. We know that there's been a lot of memory and history of the 108 First Street property, no matter what version of hotel you remember it as. If you remember it all, you remember it as a hotel. And it was designed as a hotel to be a hotel, and the only thing it was ever going to be was a hotel. And unfortunately, due to 10 years of neglect and probably 50 years of deferred maintenance, the opportunity to rehab it as a hotel as it stood became nil. The structural integrity of the property was dissipated, the plumbing had been eroded, and there had been lots of vandalism to the property, making it completely uneconomic to restore the hotel tower. And we have an opportunity to make a more modern facility there, something that benefits the citizens of our county in a bigger way. So while people have had the notion that it could be restored, we assure you that it could not have been at this point. So we're very fortunate that Macon-Bibb County was able to procure the property and guide its revitalization going forward. And we're very grateful for Target contractors who are taking every precaution to make sure that this is done as safely as possible for our business owners, property owners all around the area, and our residents that will be able to see it. Um, the we're lucky that we're at the time of year where we can do it on January 1st, which is actually one of the safest times of the year to do it because the railroads are shut down, the mail isn't running, the buses aren't running because it's a holiday and it's a significant one that most things are shut down for. So there's actually minimal impact on public utilities and public services because most of those things are already not running, and doing it in the morning means we're doing it before most business activity would start, including college football bowl games. So you'll still be able to watch those after you see what happens with this implosion. And so thankful for that, and that we have that opportunity. The final thing that we want to note is if you want to see it in person, and that's what you most want to know, we encourage you to join us on Coleman Hill, safely outside of the area. There's information on that on Facebook. You can find it on the Newtown Macon page or on Macon-Bibb County's page, information on that. But we do not encourage you to try to find the most interesting place. Just go to Coleman Hill. It'll be safe, and we'll have folks there to watch it. So with that, we will offer the floor for any questions that you might have for myself from Macon-Bibb County side or from Target. Yes, sir. What will come back? We can't hear. Can't hear you.
Do you have any idea what hotel going back into place?
So the question, what hotels going back in place? We don't. No, no, we have not gotten that far down the track.
After the implosion work is complete, do you have any sense of how long the site will be active in terms of clearing the rubble? Is that weeks, months?
Yes, sir. After the first phase of the demolition is complete, which will be the implosion of the tower, the remaining ancillary portions of that building will be conventionally demolished using heavy equipment. The projected duration of that at the moment is early May.
And then our building has had a flooding history due to water main breaks in the area, so we're really sensitive to the potential for vibration, seismic activity to cause further damage. If there is an event, do we contact you? Do we contact the city? Who do we contact for help?
Well, we're contracted through the city, sir, so you would contact the city, and then they will distribute that information to us.
Okay.
And to address the seismic concerns, we are setting up seismic monitors around the job site the day of the shot. We will have background data, and we will also have data from the day of the shot that can be used to measure the seismic impact. Historically speaking, there's none. So, yes, sir.
You mentioned that some of the businesses that are close in proximity might be getting some special protection. And I happen to own one of the businesses that's across the street. When will somebody come to our office, and when will that happen?
Yes, ma'am. This is Alex Snyder. He is he's the one who's going to be spearheading the installation of the protections, also the cleanup after the fact. So after the implosion, if we find that there's dust, debris, if you need a car wash, this will be the man to reach out to.
I'm writing that down, car wash.
And yeah, ma'am, if you would like to stick around after and give me your information, I can provide mine as well. We'll get you all squared away. That goes for any other businesses around that myself or Mr. Martin have missed. We've done our best to try to make it to everyone and hear everyone's concerns. But you know, like I said, we have a lot of people to visit. But yeah, I would love to get your information and get you squared away.
So how loud do we expect it to be at 9 a.m. in the morning, decibel wise?
It'll be above hearing safe. So, I mean, it'll be above hearing safe, sir. So the level, the decibel rating will be contingent upon where you are, but it'll be above the limits. So that's why we have the exclusion zone. At the exclusion zone, you should be at and or below the limit, sir. Sure. Yes, sir, Mr. Murphy. So the implosion, and so many people will, when they say building explosion, it's not an explosion, it's an implosion. And what that means is we use a small amount of explosives to weaken the structural members of the building, and gravity brings down the building. In addition, the timing of those explosives, they're timed in a manner which minimizes the overall impact. So instead of a loud, like, it's still loud, but instead of a boom, it's boom, 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 boom. So you'll have many small explosions due to the timing in those explosions help minimize the overpressure and minimize the blast. So, and again, it's kicking the legs out from under a chair, and the building comes down. So gravity does the work. It's not the explosives that do the work, blowing up the building. That is not what happens. What happens is the explosives are used to weaken the structural members, allowing gravity to do the rest. Yes, sir. It falls floor on floor on floor, so it's ultimately the pancake effect. So the timing of the charges allows for the building to come down on top of each other, floor on floor on top of each other, bringing the building down to the ground. And within the footprint of the building as well, it does not, it's not tipping over, it's not blowing up, blowing out. It's imploding, coming in on itself, floor by floor by floor, until you have about 2 to 3 stories of rubble, which we'll start to process and clean up pretty much immediately after the implosion. Yes, sir. Any other questions? Okay. Again, thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming out. If you do have any questions, just please route them to the city. I'll be happy to sit with you guys one-on-one and talk and answer as much as I can. Thank you.